First step to making stuffed peppers is, for me, to parboil the peppers. You do this is bring a saucepan to hot water to boiling, and we're going to put those in there for 3 minutes. This makes them a little more tender, so when you bring them out of the oven, they aren't real crispy. So 3 minutes in boiling water. If you like them softer, you can go for 4 minutes, but I wouldn't go any longer than that. Now let's make the rice. 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of cold water. Let's turn that on high heat. Stir it a little bit. And let's leave it. When it gets to a fast boil, I'm going to pull that off because I'm going to use that center burner for something else. Put on low, cover, and set the timer for 12 to 15 minutes on the rice would be good. Now I'm going to take my saute pan, put about a tablespoon of oil in, and then when it gets nice and red hot over high heat, now I'm going to put my veal in. Peel it apart a little bit, just drop it in little sections, and I'm going to cook that through. It doesn't really have to be brown because you're stuffing the peppers with it, but it'll get a little brown. And flatten out a little bit so it all gets cooked. This is on high heat, remember. And distribute the oil a little bit better there. And salt and pepper it. And a little pepper now. There we go. So I've got the rice going. I've already done my parboiling of the peppers. And let's cook the other side now. See, it's nice, a little bit brown underneath. But really, I just want to get this cooked through. This cooks pretty fast. All in all, it's going to be about 3 or 4 minutes to cook the veal. Now, you see it's got some larger lumps in there. Try to break it up as much as you can. But a little tip that I like to do is I take a pastry cutter and make a little bit more of a fine textured bolognese type grind on it. So it has nice uniform, no big chunks of meat, just nice and small. And once that's done, got some liquid and got some oil in there. So I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to take that off the stove and put it on a plate with a couple of paper towels. Now soak up the excess moisture and a little bit more of the oil that's on there. That'll help with the fat content. Make it a bit leaner. But I'm going to leave the oil that's naturally in the pan there and not add on any extra oil for the onions. And I'm going to cook the onions down until they're nice and soft. And just spread them around a little bit now. And I'm going to cook these for about 3, maybe 4 minutes, just so they start getting opaque and are nice and soft. Turn down the heat a little bit. There, after 3 or 4 minutes, nice and soft, a little bit on the brown side there. Now I'm going to add back the meat. Got rid of the extra moisture and some oil there. Stir that together a little bit. What I'm doing here now is making the filling for the stuffed peppers. Now the rice should be done, so I'll turn that off. And watch out you don't get a little steam burn there. And I'm just going to dump the rice right into the saute pan. Mix it in a little bit. This recipe is actually going to make more than I need. You can adjust accordingly if you like. This recipe here will probably make about 4 or 5 stuffed peppers, but I'm only making 3 tonight. Or making it for 2 tonight, just 2 bell peppers. All right, added the tomatoes. I used the petite diced tomatoes. Some salt, some tarragon, about a teaspoon of tarragon. If you want to use basil or oregano or some other type of herb, that's fine. I'm just a little partial to tarragon. Add some pepper. Now I mix that all together. There we go. Using a wooden spoon here just makes it a little easier. So, get that all nice and mixed up. Get all the flavors dispersed, blend it in. And there we go. So now we're just going to stuff the peppers. Just take a nice stuffed pepper, spoon in the filling, pack it loosely. It's kind of nice to use different colored peppers. It adds a little extra color to the plate. Don't stuff them too tight. There we go. There we go. So we've got 4. The oven's been preheated to 325, and put those in for 20 minutes. And while those are heating up in the oven, I want to make the sauce. So I take a nice big piece of shallot, slice it thin, cut a little bit further, and turn the little sauce pot up to medium high. Put a little bit of oil in, maybe half a tablespoon. Put my shallots in. I'm going to be cooking those for just until they're soft. They cook a little faster than onions, so it should be about 3 minutes. Stir them around a little bit. And let's cook them down for about 3 minutes, stirring occasionally. And here they're done. So now I'm going to add a small can, 4 ounce, of low sodium tomato sauce. And about the same amount, about 4 ounces, of red wine. Mix it in. Add some salt and pepper. And we're going to be cooking this till it gets a little thick. It's going to take about 10 minutes on low heat. So I'll stir that all together. And we'll let that simmer, bubbling a little bit, bring it up to a little bubble stage. And that will thicken up nicely in about 10 minutes, like this. Still needs be a little bit thicker. This has been about 5 minutes in. And finally, after 20 minutes, pull out the stuffed peppers, put them on the plates. And let's get a nice spoonful of sauce on each one. This adds a lot of moisture to it, and it's a nice tomatoey flavor. And let's pair that with a nice tossed salad, lightly dressed. There we go. And this is a pretty low-fat, very healthy meal with a lot of flavor. Let's pretty up a bit, and there we go.